Hi guys, this is Gail with Gail's Southern Living. I am back with another episode of Gail's Tales dedicated to Alicia at Country Mama Musings for the inspiration to tell my stories. Some of my stories will be funny, some will be cute, some will be sad. Today's story is kind of sad. So I have been wanting to tell this story. I've been on YouTube. It'll be 2 years in August, so it's a year. It's between a year and a half and almost my 2 years. So I'm right there on it. So I'm a little over a year and a half. Okay, so I've been wanting to tell the story, but I haven't told it all the way, and I've maybe told little tiny pieces of it, but never the whole story. So always at every job I've ever had, I've always worked really hard and been treated well and told that I'm doing well and stuff like that. So, but at my last job, it was at the local school, and I was working in the special education department, and I did like working with those children, and I miss it. But as far as the dynamics with my coworkers, so I worked 3 years with the school. The first year I worked at the junior high, and the second year I worked at the elementary school, and the third year I went back to the elementary school because as a paraprofessional, they move you around. So I was, between years, I had went to lunch with my friend, and her name is Amy. And we also went to school together. No, church together. Sorry, I didn't mean school together. We went to church together, and over the summer we went to our continuing education classes together. And I thought we were bonding really well, and everything was going well. And in the very beginning, when we were doing our training stuff at the school over the summer, she had been sitting with me and everything. But as the school year started, we got a new special education teacher that year. And she was really young, straight out of school. This was her first job. I expected that she would ask me questions about the children, or maybe just questions because I had worked in the field and been doing this for a couple of years. But she never asked me one question. So the young special ed teacher did not like me. And there was another girl in there named Zoe, and she was young, and she was really tough talking, and she never liked me. And somehow the special education teacher and the other girl in there turned my friend Amy against me. And it hurt that the teacher and Zoe, it hurt that I knew they didn't like me, but it hurt worse that my friend Amy didn't like me anymore because she was trying to fit in with them. And it felt very high schoolish. And it even got worse because the principal somehow got it in her mind that she didn't like me. And even when I turned in someone for something they did to one of the children, they did not believe me. And that person is still working in the field with children. And I'm like, are you serious? How do you leave that person working in the field with children? But they did. They did not believe a word I said. For some reason, it didn't get caught on the camera angle. But I mean, I was a Christian. I was telling the truth. I had no reason to lie. I was just trying to protect someone's child by turning that parent in that I felt had not treated the child properly. Then there was a teacher that had it out for me as well. I think I accidentally one time complained about the city water. because we were always having those boil water notices. You know, and I was from a bigger town, so I wasn't used to that. So I complained about that, and supposedly her brother worked for the city, so she saw that as some kind of insult on her family. So I had the principal, the teacher, the special ed teacher, the younger one, and the one that was my friend. So it was literally 5 different girls. And I would be in the special education room at the end of the day, either in front of the children or after the children had left. Everybody says it's better if someone talks about you to your face than behind your back. But that's not true, because they were talking about me when I was right there in the room. How do you react to that when someone's talking negatively about you when you're right there in the room? So they would give me the jobs that they didn't want to do. I always had the more challenging things. But I took that on and I did it, and I didn't complain. I worked really hard. Being a para is a very difficult job. And then if you add the dynamics of being bullied by your coworkers to it, it becomes quite excruciating. I continued to do my job. I was always loving and patient with the children. As a matter of fact, I had no idea how patient of a person I was until I worked with those kids. And I really enjoyed it. And I wanted only good things for them. And I wanted to protect them. And it was really sad when I got injured at my job and had to leave. But I was working with one of the special education kids. I don't know what her diagnosis was, and even if I did know, I wouldn't be allowed to say because of the FERPA rules. But the little kid, she decided to give me a swinging neck hug, and she put her arm. She was swinging up. She was running toward me, and she was swinging. She put her arms around the back of my neck. It was pulling down on my neck, but her feet weren't touching the ground. So all the pressure of her body weight, and she was about a 3rd grader, all the pressure of her body weight was on my neck. So I had to have physical therapy. I left my job. I tried to stay on at the job, but when I discussed with the principal what I was going to need to continue that job while my body was healing from the injury, she was not willing to do it. And all I was asking for is for someone to take my place in one class, and that class was PE, and I had to follow my head, following a child that very frequently hurt other people, to make sure he didn't hurt other people, because he was my responsibility. So I was asking for them just to cover that class until my neck healed to where I could move my neck like this really easily. Okay. So that is my experience with being bullied at my last job. It was not a pleasant experience. It felt very high schoolish. And, you know, I was not going to leave the job. I was not going to give up. I was not going to leave those children. And then the injury happened. And I almost feel like God took me out of that bad experience. You know, not in a way I would have wanted, but he was like, I know she's never going to leave this job. She's never going to leave these children. She's too dedicated to them. So I'm going to take her out this way, you know, which is not great. And now my neck is healed, but of course, with like anything, when you have an injury, it turns into arthritis. And when it's cold outside, it hurts. And I feel like it's gone down into my back. And I pretty much have to do everything in small increments. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, gardening, bringing in groceries. Everything I do in small increments. And I have to ask for help, which I've never had to do before. And I'm really not very good at it. I'm very independent. But I do have to ask for help now. I ask my children or my husband to help me with things. So that is my experience with being bullied at my job. And it was the first time anything like that has ever happened to me. However, they did have to pay me for the rest of the school year. So even though I left in April, they had to pay me all the way through the end of August. Because remember, teachers and paras, and even the cafeteria workers, everybody gets paid prorated over the whole year. So you get paid even in the summer when you're not working. So they had to pay me all the way through August, and I left in April. So, you know, and I've been at home ever since. I went on and tried to work a couple of different jobs and discovered that the injury was more extensive than we knew. And that's why I stay home and do my YouTube job. I can be making this video right now while sitting or standing. I really can't sit too long, stand too long, walk too long, run too long, pretty much anything for too long. But I can do small increments of it. Like my gardening, I'm still going to get it all done. I'm just not going to go out there and work 8 hours in one day or 5 or 4 hours. I might go out there and work 30 minutes to an hour and then sit down for a while. And I may go back out there, or that may be all I do that one particular day. So that's pretty much how I do things now. And I hope you enjoy this episode of Gail's Tales. I am going to go right now. I have an interview on Yogi Hollow Farm on my 7F goals. I hope you enjoyed my story. I know it wasn't a happy one, but it is a story I wanted to share with you guys to kind of let you know a little bit about me, a little bit about some of my insecurities because of the things that happened to me with that job, and why, you know, I've been working on building up my self-esteem since being bullied like that. So sorry, I'm about to start crying now just thinking about it. But anyway, I've managed to hold it together for this video, even though it's a very sensitive subject. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you will think about being kind to people instead of saying words that hurt them and bring them down. And you notice on every one of Gail Southern Living's videos, I say at the end, have a blessed day. And I say, be kind. I say, have a great day, be blessed, do something kind. And the reason I say do something kind is I'm trying to remind the people that are like these people that bullied me to be kind to people, to love people, not to put them down because you're insecure yourself, because that really brought me down into a very dark place that I worked really hard to pull myself out of with God's Word, with friendship, and with all my lovely friends on YouTube. I appreciate all of you very much. And so, with that said, have a great day, be blessed, do something kind. Bye, guys.